morning with Darren Mackey, author of The Jolly Giraffe. So Darren, do you want to tell us just a little bit about the book?
Yes, well, the story came about, it was meters went in, so they did, into the taxis. And it used to be a fare, a normal fare, it was $3.50, got you anywhere. And then when the meters went in, the fares went way up. So the wee lady says to me one day, I get in, says, are you having a giraffe? Because the price was $5 now, so it was for, you know. I says, what do you mean? She goes, them prices, you must be having a laugh. So it just dawned on me, I thought to myself, that's a really great idea for a book. Are you having a laugh, said the Jolly Giraffe, you know. So the story's about a giraffe and a monkey. Now the monkey's afraid of heights, so he is. And they make this, they go across the ravenous rhinos, because the monkey's bored, he doesn't like dancing and he doesn't like singing, like monkeys do. So they go, he says, we'll go across the ravenous rhinos, it's a new restaurant opened across the jungle. So they meet Leo the lion, and poor old Leo, he's a vegetarian. And so they head across anyway and stumble across a few things before they get there. So they do.
Well, just as you're chatting there, you said about the taxis, and for anyone that's listening or watching this today, you are a taxi driver.
I am indeed, yeah.
In your day-to-day.
Yes, yes.
So, a bit of a leap, if you don't mind me saying, for a taxi driver to suddenly start writing children's books.
Aye.
Where did that come? I know you say it came from that conversation you had, but what foundation did you have for writing?
Well, I have absolutely none, because I left school, well, primary school I left, and I couldn't read or write, even spell Darn. I was 14, I think, before I could spell Darn.
Yeah.
And, but the teachers would always have said to my mum and dad that Darn is good to be 8 years, but he just can't get them onto the page. And now I just couldn't put a sentence together or a full stop. But it was always interesting. I had this wee space story I've been doing now, I must be doing it a lifetime. And I would do a chapter, then I would rewrite it, then rewrite it. And I seen a thing one time, I can't remember where it was, I think it was YouTube or something. And a man said, no matter what your story is, whether it's one page or 1,000 pages, get the story onto the page and then go back and fill in the detail. And I thought that was class. So I just decided I would give the RV story a break, and I would start then on this Jolly Giraffe. So I did.
And I can tell you're very creative.
Like,
you seem to have ideas upon ideas.
Yes, I have a few.
Like that?
Yeah. I was very interested in art because I couldn't spell. My outlet was art, and I loved doing. I didn't take it drawing up to I was 16, because I thought it was a wee bit of a Dawson attack, and I just all of a sudden I got an A level in it. I got a B at A level. It was the only thing I got without trying.
And see, like when you decided you were going to start this book, what was that process? How did you decide, right, I'm going for it, I'm going to get this book right through to publication?
Well, I started on wee jotters in my taxi, just jotting down ideas. I must have about a thing about this here of jotters at home, so I have. But I would, write it down, and then I would rewrite it, and the next, get another jotter, you can do that. And the story started, as the man says, as the story started, then other characters come into the story. The lion come in, the monkey come in, ravenous rhinos come in, and it all started to flow. I think it's about flow, about the story flowing from a start, a beginning, and an end. Mm-hmm. And but then it was my wee girl, because the wife was reading it. I gave it to her and see, because there wouldn't be a full stop on it, or a speech mark, or a comma, and she'd be like, "What is this?" Yeah. Sugar, she would say, And so my young girl, she put a thing on my phone called Google Docs. I never looked back, because even if I was struggling with a spelling, like because, as long as you had the first couple of letters, then it would pop up, and I would go, oh, there's it there, and then I would underline saying, maybe you should stick a wee full stop in here, or a wee comma, and I go, oh. So all of a sudden the wife was even going, God, this isn't actually too bad,
yeah.
And
did it take you long to put the book together?
Well, now, as I said, I was messed about, I would say about 6 months then, because I listened to your boy, he said, get it out, get it onto the page, and then worry about the detail. Give them blonde hair, give them blue eye, well, not the monkey either, but if that's the story you're working on, or give them characteristics like he's afraid of heights, that developed. God, that'd be a good idea.
I love that your characters are so quirky. You have a monkey, afraid of heights,
yes.
And a lion that's a vegetarian.
Yes.
Was that part of what that man man had advised you to do? I know you're saying to give them characteristics, but your characteristics are so funny.
Aye, but I think in a kid's book they sort of have to be funny. Kids have to relate, because not everybody can climb a tree, not everybody can do maths or English. So it's about struggling with what you do yourself, because everybody struggles with something. And mine was definitely reading, writing and spelling, like, unfortunately.
What's Jerry's thing? I know he's jolly, but does he have any like sort of quirky?
But he definitely, he's a real positive outlook. On, it doesn't matter what the situation is, his glass is half full.
Yeah.
So it is. And the monkey is dragging him. Somebody else said to me, I would have elbowed that monkey in the face. You know, like, if you'd have made kind of. But yeah, you know, he sees the good in everything. He sees the positivity. And it's the way it should be. Like, you know, if you can just, life's tough. It throws curveballs all the time. My father died last year, and it was horrendous. But, you know, he would have wanted you not to be sitting moping and, you know, worrying about it, like.
And is that what you hope for children when they read this book, to come away with that understanding about life?
Absolutely, absolutely. Like, you will find a niche for yourself. If you struggle in something, you'll excel. Is that the word? Excel. You'll excel. Don't ask me to spell that. You'll excel in other areas of life. You know, it's just about finding what you enjoy and focusing on that.
And this book, am I right in saying, has been an adventure for you? Because I know we've talked off camera a little bit about how difficult this is for you, you know, promoting the book and going into schools and speaking with the children and being on camera today. Like, what has that process been like for you? Have you
slightly, still, I would struggle. My young fella, he got married this year, Connor, and he asked me to do a reading. No way could I stand it. Even though I would have read it and learned it, I still couldn't get up in front of them people, and because I just would have looked down at the page and it would all have been. I can read it myself, obviously, but don't ask me to get up and read in front of people. It's the same as the wee school, and the teacher says to me, we're down to St Patrick's Primary School, lovely day, and the teacher says to me, should you read it? And I just, the colour just threw into my face, and I says, look, I'll sit there and you read it. And she did, and the kids loved it.
Yeah.
Well, I hope they loved it anyway.
But this is the thing, and it's nice to see that you're putting yourself outside of your comfort zone with it, and you're doing your best to sort of push yourself beyond those boundaries. And of course you did that whenever you took to writing the book, because you admit spelling was difficult. And you know, how to write was difficult.
Very much so.
I think it sort of shows your character, your strength of character.
I always believed I could do it. It was just having the tools to do it. As I said, my young girl putting that on my thing, because I was have been lazy. Now, years ago, when I had been trying to read, I had opened the book. The first word that I didn't understand, that would, like, I wouldn't have went and got a dictionary, because to me that would have been effort. And like, no, I'm not doing that there. So I just let it go. Like, when I was growing up, the most I read was the Beano. The Beano was the because we weren't encouraged to read. I was in first year, and I was advised not to do the 11 plus. So when I left St Malachy's, I went up to St Bridget's, and because my reading was so poor, I was in the lowest class of St Bridget's, and we never left that classroom. And I never understood that until somebody asked me about it there about 3 weeks ago. But we never left. We didn't get up and go to maths or get up and go to English like other class. It was like P7 all over again, where we had one teacher and he tried to help us with our reading and our spelling. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy. When I look back, like, you know, how far down I was in it, like.
And what you're doing now?
Well.
Do you see this as an achievement?
Absolutely. And people says, you know, because people have been asking me to sign the book, and I've been really embarrassed now. I'm like, oh no, please, you know, I'm not signing. Like, I think your friends of mine saying to me, say it. I'm like, say it yourself, because you can spell, darn, you know, and they're giving me these real hard names to make it out there, and I'm like, oh, please spell that. Oh yeah, I'll spell it. Ash names, no, fathers and all. And I'm like, oh my God, what am I supposed to do here? But I do see it. Said to me, are you proud? I was very proud of it. Very proud, but you know, it is what it is.
I know.
You know what I mean, like.
Would you do it again? Would you write another?
I have another wee one in the works. So I have. It's called The Glows.
Okay.
So it is. It's the world's black and white. So to continue the illusion of colour, these wee creatures called the glows go out every night and recolour the world, the flowers and the trees and all every night. But one of their arch enemies get injured. They're called the Nags, and Gilray Glow, he discovers her and then takes her to help her fix her wing.
Very good.
So they have to go to a rainbow to get fixed up.
You're not short on ideas, you're really
It's
They're
just,
going to keep coming, do you think?
I'm hoping now I've that there, it's in process at the minute about, they're doing the wee drawings for it, so they are, and I'm finishing up my third one. It's called the Boy Mackay, and it's about a footballer, a boy, he's wee tiny boy, he's only about this height here, and he wants to be the world's greatest footballer, but then by a chance encounter by a witch, he gets a wee wish, and that's how he becomes the world's greatest footballer.
And do you speak to your passengers when you're out driving and you're taxiing during the day or night? Do you speak to your passengers about the books or anything?
Okay, well, they're very interested in it now. You know, people seem to be taking it seriously. You know, when I first went, I put a billboard up there. You've seen the billboard. Yeah. And whenever I was paying for the billboard, your wife says, "Are you selling these books out of your boot?" And I says, "No, they're going to be on Amazon." Well, the conversation just changed to a grown-up conversation that I'm actually having now. And people's also talking about their own. Like I was talking to a man, I was standing waiting in chips, and a man started talking about how much he struggled with numbers. Like your father, you were telling me about numbers. He says he could do it, but see the minute he got up to the blackboard, just gone, all numbers back to front. And there was no wee lady in McCure. She was telling me that her young girl come home and spelt her name 764368 or something like that, because she was struggling so much with the letters. And I was like, so the conversation is, to me, because people see that, you know, I wouldn't have talked about my vulnerabilities, about not being able to spell, or because, you know, you sort of kept that. But whenever you sort of was putting yourself out there, you say to yourself, well, this is where I've sort of come from. And now a lot of people are saying how they struggled with reading, writing and mathematics, you know.
And I know, you know, it's natural to maybe not see yourself as an inspiration, but I would say many people do. You know, you've come past that. It's very easy, like you say, to close that dictionary or not look for a dictionary.
It's so easy,
but
yeah.
But not let it hold you back. You know, you have a book now, as you say, on Amazon.
On Amazon. Not out of my boot. You know, that's out of my boot, right, you know. That's right. I wish I had it, because a lot of people wanted it then. Yeah. Have you got that? No, I don't have it. You have to go to Amazon. So Amazon's making all the money.
You'll have to keep a wee stock.
Yeah, I have to keep a wee stock for the next one. For the next one I know, by, you know.
Is there anywhere else that it's available to buy?
Waterstones and all the sort of the main places. Brown's books and stuff like that. There's about a list of them, I think there's about 9 or 10 of them.
And have you got to the stage yet where you have an author's website of your own?
No, I haven't. I haven't even thought about that.
Do you know, I'm thinking that you've got all these books in the works.
I'll have to get my young girl, Neve. She proofreads my stuff, so she does her and Sharon. You know, just looks through it for me to make sure that there's not too many spelling mistakes.
But for anyone who's thinking of, right, we've got Jolly Giraffe at home, and he's talking about these other books. Yeah. How can I find them? When will I know they're out? What's your plan for that to let people
Well,
informed?
I'm hoping now that the glows will be released in the spring. They're doing the wee drawings, as I was saying to you. They're doing the wee drawings for it, and then it has to go to like a proofreader, and there's about 9 or 10 different stages, which was class, because they sent me a wee diagram of all the stages, and I like the one at the very end that says royalty check, and I was like, woohoo! And the wife says, "What are you going to do with your favour?" I said, "I'll buy myself a beer, cheer, toast myself."